had a Tesla. I got the SUV, and so I was really excited about that. And obviously, then hearing about the power walls and everything, and we were building a house at the same time. Like all this was kind of happening at the same time, and so obviously went right into the power wall world of okay, well, Tesla makes this, and everything they make is great, so let's do this. In the process of finishing up the house and putting in all the solar and everything, and owning a Tesla for a little while and realizing maybe it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I decided I wasn't a Tesla person, and having now experienced working with that company where their infrastructure just could not withstand the demand on service, I was terrified of going into any other business with them.
Okay.
So that kind of led me to investigate the market further, and I think that's what led me to you guys. And the conversation was I was thrilled to have a conversation about options because I didn't know there were any. Right, so the Tesla experience was as you'd expect. I mean, Tesla definitely acts like they're the only player in the game. There was never any thought from their side that I would go another direction. And the problem was when I was ready to pursue this route with them of okay, I'm ready for the Powerwall, they kind of put me on hold. They said, well, we're not ready yet. Hold on a sec. And I was really put off by that because the house was getting built and it was time to put something in while our solar system was going in. And because we ultimately had to then make that decision after the fact, it just created some issues because Tesla didn't put my solar system in, and so I didn't know the compatibility of then putting in their Powerwall. And I just felt like I was always on their schedule, and I was concerned with how that would play out going forward should I ever need service on these things. And I was also getting the feeling that Tesla was the Nike swoosh on a $5 t-shirt. Yeah, so working with you guys was great. I mean, it was as easy as a text, call. You guys were here within the hour, usually sooner. I felt I had access straight to the guys making the decisions. And then even the guys who were coming to actually do the jobs were very efficient. And it didn't feel like there was any gap between the guys making the decisions, or the C-levels of the company, in fact, and the people doing the work. It seemed like everyone was aligned on what had to be done. And if we ran into any roadblocks, it seemed like everyone was involved in the fix. And I appreciated that because it wasn't seamless, and this whole concept is new, and so it shouldn't be. And so I can't even fathom what that situation would have been should I have had to do that with Tesla. So thank God I didn't. Yeah, I think just the response times, feeling like I was a valued client, feeling like it bothered you guys when there was a problem, to the extent that you wanted to fix it as much as I wanted it fixed, and if there was ever a delay in terms of time, it was easily understandable because we had to get a part or people would literally go to a store to come back and get it right away and keep fixing the problem if that was the case. The people that came over were very efficient and quick. And one of the guys even came over and dealt with a problem that was actually a problem with the solar company and got on the phone with the people who'd put the solar panels in to work with them and actually pointed out a flaw in their system that they then had to fix, which had nothing to do with you guys, but he ended up being the point person to fix their problem so that he could install his, which I thought was pretty cool. Wait, it's like, when you deal with DirecTV along with your AV guys, and it's always the other guy's fault.
Yeah, right.
Well, I didn't have that because, your team took initiative. The timing couldn't be better right now with all the PG&E stuff, and you're still dealing with a niche market, but I think it's going to start changing. I mean, when you see lines out the door at Home Depot for generators, which people are, one, using and two, reselling somewhere else because of the demand for something like that, well, why wouldn't people who own a house and put the money in on the infrastructure of all those things consider something like that that's built in and more seamless when things like that happen? It was crazy. Just my in-laws and our brother and sister-in-law, when their power all went out in the last few months, they were coming over and using our fridge. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Your own people with $1 million homes in Saratoga and Los Gatos and Monte Sereno had nothing to do. It didn't matter how much money you had or how big your house was. It wasn't working. Not to mention, if you have a Tesla or an electric car, which is going to be the case here in the next few years, how are you going to get to work? And now we're talking about lost productivity, and there's a value attached to that. The ultimate thing that kind of governs all this stuff too is just kind of the buy local, support small business, support people who are in your community, care about your community, and want to make it a better place, because we're kind of all in it together, and I like having that feeling along the whole process. So it felt like a high-end boutique business.